I've always been ahead of my time.
When life gives you lemons, make a strong lemon margarita. Yeah, baby. She is the queen of radio. Patu Loca has arrived on Paul Santisi Music Mastermind Radio.
Welcome to all of you guys here. I'm, of course, excited because I have Mr. Dustspot Ceddy J on here. And, of course, you guys caught us in a bit of a conversation because I wanted to know how old he was. I'm like, because after reading all about you, you got a lot going on. So far, you're a radio personality for Life After Dusk Radio, a creator of Dustspot, founder of Dusk Modeling, and you're a two-time published writer. So that's why I'm like, what? And you also have something that you do where you have a Human Canvas magazine.
Yeah.
And then you also do the thing where you have for allowing and helping models be able to get themselves out there with iAmSoDivine, which I had the great opportunity to be part of iAmSoDivine, and of being a host and all, like, it's crazy. How do you do all this? Where do you carve out a life for you if you got all of this and you're pretty young? So I would think the younger you are, the more stuff you got, the things you got to do. So how?
Well, I mean, it kind of goes back to going backwards, like, just being a kid. I was always one of those people that did a lot of things. But I like being well-rounded. Like, I was always just a kid, and this used to get me in trouble a lot, like, with bullies or whatnot, because they couldn't put me into a category because I did so much stuff. You couldn't call me just a nerd. You couldn't call me a jock. You couldn't call me whatever because I did a little bit of everything. I was in the band. I was in the orchestra. I was on the Wiz Quiz team. I was on this group called Emoja. It was a black organization and helping young black men empower themselves to be future leaders. All kind of stuff. Like, I just always been attached to be and some people might think it's ADHD or whatever. It's not necessarily that. It's just I'm a well-rounded person, and I feel that everything can use my gift of just being a person that loves people. And so anything that requires good people skills, you know, it pretty much I can do it in any different realm. So that's how I'm able to transfer that as far as an adult now, be able to do so much now too.
Now for you, seeing that you have what had you decide to do a Human Canvas magazine?
The Human Canvas, that really got incubated back in, I didn't necessarily know the name it was going to be. I didn't know what the theme was going to be, but back in high school, I was on, because my school, we actually had to you actually had to have a major in my high school. It was a technical high school.
Like New York.
And so my major was journalism. And I remember one day the weirdest of teachers, my theory teacher asked us to write down 3 goals. And one of my goals was become a magazine owner or a magazine writer someday. And I ended up going to college for that. Print journalism, and the magazine didn't happen first. The weird thing was this made me switch my major in college, switch my major to broadcast journalism, because I eventually I started doing radio. I was doing sports writing for the radio station in my school, and one day they needed an anchor to come on the air because the anchor they usually did wasn't there, so they needed someone else to come hold it down, and all the other writers were too shy, so I said, I'll do it, and from then the rest is history, and it was great ever since.
But see, for those out there listening, the Human Canvas magazine is a magazine that gives models, artists, tattoo artists, body painters, photographers, tattoo parlors, an outlet to show their art of the human body, whether it's piercing, tattoos, unique hair colors, styles, and body paints. So, did you find it kind of challenging? Because you know how when you create your own thing, and I'm sure when you came out with this concept where any and everything goes on in this magazine, some people are like, oh, that's too much. I don't know. And they can't really see it. Did people find that like, yeah, I don't know, because that sounds like a lot?
Well, I mean, one thing I do have to concern, although to the naked eye, see, okay, black tattoo is bigger than that actually, and this is what makes it hard. Every month, I have a completely different theme that all the people have to stick to. So, for instance, like, this one coming up is the live freely issue, and that's based off of, it's an implied issue in live freely, think of 4th of July, freedom, independence, whatever. And so all the different things encompass into that. So every issue, I try to have a deeper meaning of a different theme every time. So just like when you go to an art exhibit, everything fits in this exact type of theme in the art exhibit. That's the same way I approach every canvas. Every month you get something different, whether it's back to school theme or we had a colorblind issue in February where the whole entire issue, since it was Black History Month, was shot in black and white. And so there's different things we do every month. We've done breast cancer awareness. We've done cosplay, which gave back to domestic violence awareness. A little bit of everything. So I try to make sure everything I do, and then everything I do, no matter if it's my radio show or whatever, I always make it about making sure it has a deeper meaning. And that's even with iAmSoDivine. iAmSoDivine is about encouraging models. And divine, when people think of divine, they think of divine purpose. And then you do have to have a purpose. And don't just model just because you look good or whatever. Model because you have a purpose of what you want to do and allow it to open up doors to something else that you always saw yourself doing. And so I'll try to help you with understand that divine purpose, basically.
So, seeing that when you're in this type of industry, especially dealing with models and things like that, because I also have a page on that iAmSoDivine page and Dustspot.
Yes.
But do you ever have seminars, or do you ever have women that come to you for advice? Because the only thing that made me kind of slow down and not take my modeling all the way was because a lot of times it's a male dominant type of area in, well, entertainment mainly, and then you deal with those casual perverts or those who act like they're super professional and do the extra. So have you ever thought of like saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to create my own agency where it's an agency that actually look out for the females as well as protect them?
See, I mean, and thinking of the agency, we're great power to have great responsibility, and this is why like a lot of people are trying to actually be their manager, and I have turned it down, not because I just hate them, but
you don't have the time.
I feel that a lot of people, they misuse the word agency, they misuse the word manager, and I feel once you become a manager or agency, those are full-time positions. That would have to encompass me having to detract from some of those other things I do.
Now, out of all the times you've done this and dealing with modeling, have you ever had a model? Do you have a funny story of a situation when involving a model?
Yes, I do. I have. I mean, it's plenty actually. There are a whole lot of them. I will say this, like, funniest thing is always when people who are really nervous for no apparent reason. Like, because they're real nervous and like you said, like one of the things where you step back with the pervert and stuff and whatever, it's like the shyness. To me, that's funny to me. Like, seeing how shy these people are, and they get so shy, they end up doing silly stuff like tripping, doing the shoot, or just all kinds of stuff. I've seen a model buckle, as Kevin Hart would say, buckle, while he was walking and trying to pose and whatnot, and I had to contain myself and try not to laugh so hard.
That's the funniest thing you got? You don't ever have anything where...
I mean, that's bored. That's bored. I just like, It's like who I want to put at the bus. It's like who I want to put at the bus. That's more so what I will say. No, okay. I mean, I have seen, like, and speaking of falling, I've seen a model fall down in her own vomit.
Oh, on a runway?
I saw her fall down her own vomit. I was like,
Wow.
whoa. Okay.
Man, that is so...
Like a public service after. I drink that thing.
Jesus. I'm sure you probably never seen her again.
No, actually, I've seen that person. That's why I was saying I wanted to be careful because I said something going to the bus, so I might still do. I still deal with it regularly. So, yes.
Now, so far, I see that you have a world-renowned station, which you've created. But before we get to the station, I want, since you're the owner of a growing social network called dustspot.com, you're not only the creator, but you're the host. I mean, well, you're the creator of Dustspot. But the thing I wanted to say about Dustspot, what is the sole purpose? Because for me, anytime models, singers, whatever come to me and they're like, man, I'm trying to get myself out there, I always tell them about Model Mayhem, and I always tell them about Dustspot to sign up, because to me it's like a Facebook with to me it's like a Facebook with MySpace together, like a social media just for people in entertainment.
You know what's crazy? So this magazine, they did a story on me. They did a story on Dustspot, and the tagline was, it said the Black Planet of modeling, because Black Planet, it's a black-owned site, and although I hate when people put the moniker on it, saying the tag on it, that it's a black site. It's like, yes, black.
It's everybody's site.
Right, but doesn't mean it just, I've never said it was inclusive. It was exclusively for black people. But, of course, people are tend to, but stuff is black-owned, black people tend to use stuff more or whatever. But I got to show people all the time, like, there's people of all walks of life on there. I mean, people are lots of different races on there, different styles of modeling. And it's not just modeling, it's music, or it's people in the music industry as well. Authors, just keep, like you said, it's like a professional. I wanted, like, this is a crazy thing. The reason why I started Dustspot, I want to thank Facebook for that. Facebook one day decided to disable my first, because my Facebook page is now, that profile, that's my second profile. I had a profile pretty much since Facebook started, like back when it was just college students on there, and they disabled my account in 2009 and never told me why, this, that, and the other. And so I said, you know what? It was annoying. I'm pretty sure somebody hated on me and said my stuff was spam or whatnot. So I took that moment, went forward, and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a whole entire space where people can promote their behinds off. They're not going to be, unless it's truly spam, they're not going to be labeled as spammers, and be able to just freely be professional. And it also has the difference of how I try to run my site is, I pretty much know everybody that's on there. I check everybody's stuff. People know that they can talk to the owner, and that's the difference between everywhere else. Like, when you see the owner is engaged with the members and, rewarding people, like we do the star system every month, top 10 stars, where we is basically the leaderboard that kind of just highlights people who are the most active content contributors. And there's no site that I've been looking around, there's really no site that's really doing it.
No, not at all. Not to get that capacity.
Right. And I thought, I used to think it was a small thing, but people really embrace it. Like, people are like, oh man, I'm going to get the #1 spot this week, or this month, wherever. Like, people really embrace it. Like, they really look forward to try to be a star every month. So, but the thing is, everyone's called a star now. Like, we don't just call everyone members. We call everyone stars because the reason why it's called Dustspot think of dust, you think of the darkness and whatnot. And so, basically, Dust Spot Radio Network and Life of the Dust Live, this, that, and the other, is basically bringing light to those people in the underground, aka the dark, bringing light to those people. And there are future stars tomorrow. So that's how we look at it. And I've seen people who went on to, become bigger things. And it's like, man, they would say, I remember that was my first interview on his show, or I remember him giving me advice, help me, grow or whatnot. People who came to there, the people who truly embrace it, they always get a very great experience going forward that they'll never forget, being in any of those realms.
I mean, the crazy thing is when I did sign up on Duskspot after being featured for iAmSoDivine, I was so overwhelmed because at the time I didn't know how to operate social media, how to do a Facebook and Twitter and stuff. So when I got on there, I'm like, dang, this place is way more active than some Facebook. I don't even know how to even do basic Facebook. How am I going to work this? But it was just like, it was overwhelming. But now that I kind of got a swing of things, I go back every so often. But the crazy thing is, I don't actually go there to promote myself. I actually go there to check out the people because, just like you said, even though you happen to be a black man that created and owned this website, it doesn't mean it's all black owned, because I can honestly say you have all variety of people, from punk rock to ballet types, and that's what was so shocking. Because I'm like, modeling when we were growing, well, since I'm older than you, but modeling when I was growing up has transitioned so differently compared to now. And back then you had to be a cookie cutter type, but for you give the opportunity that, and you remind people who want to get into this business that modeling doesn't mean you have to be a real skin, thin, pale skin, walking down a runway. You could be a model as a tattoo artist, as a nudist, as a photographer, all varieties that people forget because we're so stuck on social media where it's constant photos, movies, videos, and that's it.
Right. I mean, it's bigger. A lot of people realize everything is bigger than what people want to give credit to. Like, you have to pretty much be yourself. In anything you try and do, be yourself. The more you're being yourself, the better, the better it becomes to you, and people will respect it, and no one can ever take that away from you. Because that's what I love about this. Like, I myself, and I watch people, and the scary thing is when celebrities hit me up and say, oh man, that episode was crazy, bro. And it just trips me. I'm like, wow, celebrities listen to this show? And it's just surreal. But even when the celebrities come on there, celebrities like being guests of the show because they feel like they're at home. They don't feel like I'm going to rag them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've interviewed people that have been on 2020. I literally had someone on my show was on 2020, literally the Friday before they were on my show that Monday. And it was two different interviews. 2020, they go to try to grill you.
Yeah.
I'm a person, when you talk to your best friend, you can talk about, and I talk about my best friend show, where you can catch up with me and we talk about whatever, and it's just a candid conversation where you feel like, you get so comfortable. I don't have to ask you those certain questions.
No.
You get so comfortable that you want to share the information.
Yeah.
And so now it's presented a different way.
See, for me personally, when I would interview people, you see some interviews where you're like, oh my goodness, no, they didn't. And then but you really want to know. But then for me, I always felt like, you're here for whatever. May you be a singer, a writer, a dancer, whatever, and that's all we're going to talk about. So a lot of times, I don't like to submit questions because, just since you're a radio host and
thank
you submit questions, they want to be robotic. Like, how was your day today? Today was a lovely day. And it's like they want to control, and it's like, it's unnatural. It doesn't even sound real.
Yeah, I like impromptu interviews, and that's what I like about this interview. It's not, because to prepare, I hate preparation. When you just way too prepared, you should basically prepare yourself. Like, look at typical interview questions. Think about your craft. Think about stuff that people can possibly ask you about your career.
Yeah.
I mean, I ask random questions to keep me, like, when the show's on, I ask random questions. Sometimes I get real risque. Like, I asked one girl, one female model on show one time, I said, who are some female actresses that you would make out with, or singers? And, and she answered the question. She's like, this is the thing shit. So I throw zingers at you. Like, and this is the first time I've seen, like, some simple questions, but a lot of times I don't ask those simple questions. I just want you to get comfortable of being prepared.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to I don't really ask the questions I've seen them all the time. I throw them completely off.
Yeah, because to me, the whole get in your business, it's just not cool, because I think that's why a lot of people have prep. But then what's so crazy is a lot of times when I interview people, because I was actually shocked that you didn't ask me, like, hey, where's those interviews that like the questions you're going to ask? I was actually waiting for you to ask me, but you didn't. I'm like, haha, either he must do the same thing, or you're so busy you didn't even notice.
I mean, it's not that I just do the same thing necessarily. It's just that me personally, even that, I like going where I like to be a little spontaneity in a little chaos and whatnot. I hate too prepared, and that's why I don't like traditional radio. Like, some people are like, man, you should work for such and such. Like, I could easily walk in there right now and say, okay, oh man, let me find a way to get onto the air, become a host again. I can easily go do that, but I don't like the control you don't have.
No, yeah.
In this realm, we have so much control, and and that's really what a lot of those hosts want to try to get to now, because with the internet and podcasts and whatnot, you have like you kind of go above and beyond, and now people from all over the world are exposed to you.
Now, seeing that you have a worldwide, like over 3 million listeners.
Well, now it's over. It's 4.3. 4.3.
4.3 listeners for Life After Dusk. I mean, Life After Dusk Live. I remember the first time when I interviewed, I'm like, Life After Dusk, because when you're up north, dusk means that's that. You sit in a hot chair, they come and grill you, and you just be like, woo, that was a workout type of thing. but I was actually shocked, because I'm like, oh my goodness, it's light, it's fun. But then when you have those particular subject shows, some of the things that I see you share on social media about certain topics and conversations and stuff, it's all so different. It's not the same thing. And I also want to tell you, congratulations to your over 4 million listeners for Life After Dusk Live.
Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. And it's been great because, I've now been exposed to not having sponsors. Now actually some more come in the works now too, but one of my sponsors I have now was Audible.com, and it's like, wow, like, the reason why it's so big to me is because I listen to like ESPN radio the other day, and I noticed that I'm like, wow, like I literally have the same exact sponsor. I have one of the same exact sponsors that world-renowned radio show that's connected to a world-renowned television channel. I have the same sponsor. Like, that is so surreal to me.
So for you, when you look back and you think to yourself, did you ever think when you first started this, it would be as big? Because the craziest thing about creating something, in your head you have it as big, but when it actually comes to life, and it actually, first you're at awe because it comes to life, but then when it's actually bigger, you're just sometimes. You know what? I wonder, do you ever have those moments where you're like, man, thank you, Jesus, like where you're crying, like, man, I never thought it would get this big on any and every project you've done?
I had that happen. I literally had a joyful cry on Saturday evening, actually.
Yeah.
And it was because, like, I was now adding my resume now means I'm now a red carpet correspondent now. I got Ceddy J for a movie on Friday, and like it was just so surreal. The love and just how everything was so handled, and like the team they love I did so much. You know, they were like, well, you know, we're planning on doing the premiere in Houston too. You know, because I had put a status out there about how I didn't want Friday to end. Like he was like, I was like, y'all, Friday really happened, y'all. I can't believe it. You know, they said, well, the dream isn't over, and they told me like Houston. So I literally cried, like, because it was just so crazy. Like everything just fall into place, and a lot of people don't realize the hard work you got to go through, all the no's you have to go through, and being different. Some people don't like being different. It's just so much you have to go through. So that cry, when I had those crying moments, it kind of just connects me to saying, wow, we're like getting there. We're getting to where we want to be at.
Yeah. Now, I know for you listeners, you keep hearing me say iAmSoDivine, but for those of you guys who may not know, iAmSoDivine is actually a website where you showcase people with talents in the, you know, modeling and things like that. And you actually not only showcase them, you actually interview them on your radio station.
Yes. And really, at first, I was mainly just doing topics of my show, and I had artists come through one night. But I started one day to delve into having a model the show. Let me have a model the show. And it was crazy. Like, literally right before the episode, like about 20 minutes before the show happened, I had to reroute the entire episode because Delta Excel hit up and said, oh, well, you know, we want to let you know that you're the whale eye candy of the month. And so that switched the whole entire thing. Like, whoa, this thing just became bigger than what it was. And when she came in, she would talk about how she's a model and first black new role model for the West region. And then she would talk about how she was going to school to be video director. And so I'm sitting and like everyone is listening is just so in tune because they're like, wow, this is like a show where this dude is just being asked, you know, because you go to some of these shows and whatnot, and they always ask about the thirst questions of models. You only see the sexy part of it. They don't see behind their mind.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what made me start iAmSoDivine, because I'm like, wow, these people have more of a purpose than people want to realize. It's not just them looking good. It's that a lot of them, they are deep seekers, and they have a purpose of what they want to do. And so it's to encourage people to dig deeper into these models and realize that more than just, hey, you look good, or that message. Find out more about them. That's what it encourages you to learn more about them.
Yeah, that's the thing, because when I first heard about that, and when I actually did it, I was actually shocked because I'm like, okay, so this was the first opportunity that you actually, as a female or male model, you actually talk and people get to know you other than how they fantasize in their head, that you are. They think that, you wear a bikini eating croissants in the morning on the sun beach. It's like, no, these are everyday real people, and things like that. Now,
I mean, I think it's also just the fact of people like they connect. Like, a lot of folks don't realize a lot of it's not the deep, because if you wonder why sometimes they're like, why they crack or why is other people, it's not the deep, it's not the product. People connect with the person who's behind the product. Like for instance, why can a person go sell? I will say this revolutionary weight loss product, and it'd be two different people selling it. But why am I so stuck on this person? Because I'm selling the person. And that's what it do. People get behind the model. That helps you to get behind your model even more, because they're in tune to the person now. And now they feel that connection more, like, I want to support this person. So wherever they got going on, I'm going to support it.
Well, guys, since we're winding down on time, because this is a good show, Just check out everything Ceddy J in the information box down below. You can always recatch it, not only on YouTube, Spreaker, but soon on iTunes too. Thanks, guys. Ceddy J, any last advice for those out there who, you know, think big but think like it's not going to really happen?
Repeat that again for me.
Do you have any advice for people who have big dreams but feel like, oh, it's too big, it's not going to actually happen?
Yeah, my dream is, I mean, pretty much said it, don't let, just every day, man, keep working hard at what you're doing and everything else will follow. And don't allow other people's expectations of you to dictate your ceiling, you know, where you can go. You start doing that, that's when, you know, you're gonna push your blessing back. You could have been at a certain level, but you're not gonna be there because you decided you're gonna let other people's expectations dictate where you can go.
Okay. And trust me.